Yeah, you say that. This is where the big dogs turn up.
The superstars.
The big dogs rock up.
Where's
here
Goldstein?
Now, matey. Goldstein is he's on drive. I told you, mate, earlier. For those that don't know, the window is shut. Jamie O'Hara has come in. A huge amount of money. Goldstein's gone out on a free to drive.
He's on a freebie.
He's on a free to drive.
Yeah. Well, look, let's just crack straight on with it, mate. We've got all the net spends here and the teams that have done well. Who's at, in your opinion, who's had the best window? Just go, bang. Who's had it?
I think United have done okay. I think they've done
more
well.
than okay.
I think United have done well. I think Chelsea have done well. I mean, to be honest with you, I think most teams...
Spurs have done well.
I think Spurs have done all right.
Spurs have had a great window. Kept Harry Kane. Kept one of the best players in the world.
Well, I mean, yes. If that's what you class as a window, keeping players, then fair enough.
Well, it is. Look at Liverpool. Liverpool have signed new contracts for players. Yeah. They would say they've had a decent window. Spurs have had a great window. All this sort of shenanigans.
Keeping Kane is key. Look, I totally agree.
Massive.
Keeping Kane was absolutely key.
And we've got better in areas that we needed to. We needed a right back. We've brought in Morel from Barcelona. We've brought in Romero, a very good sign. Brian Gill, one for the future. Already looks brilliant. And you've kept Harry Kane. For me, it's a great,
do you know what,
transfer
though, mate?
window.
Honestly, you don't know what the window looks like until you see them play. Honestly, I remember I've done enough transfer windows doing Chelsea TV. We bought in Torres, all right? Everyone said Chelsea had a brilliant transfer window. Shevchenko is another one. You've got to wait and see how they turn out, mate. You really do. In terms of what teams need, it's a question to everyone. Has this transfer window fixed, like you just mentioned there about Spurs, areas that needed filling? Mm-hmm. Are there areas in your team that had gaps that you feel we need someone to go in and do that? And if that case, then yes, they've had a good window. But ultimately, mate, without being too much of a bore on deadline day, you don't know what it looks like until you see him play.
And what about Ronaldo? Do you think he's going to be a success? I know he brings everything else.
He'll score goals. Yeah, I think it's a super signing. It's a no-brainer. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. It's not like they're paying through the teeth for him. Look, it's not. He's not going to be the Ronaldo that left, but he's going to bring a different type of character. He's now he's one of the world's best players. He's an absolute superstar. And you think about young players like Greenwood, what he can learn from him. He's got Cavani there as well. It's an absolute no-brainer for me. He will score goals. He's going to score. It depends in the big games how big an impact can he have in the big games? You know, the derbies, up against teams where
United...
Isn't
that what he lives for, right?
Yes, but you know, it's up against better teams, better well coached, better defences, better individuals. So we will see how the impact in those games. We know he's going to score goals against the likes of Southampton, isn't he? Probably.
Yeah, of course he is.
You know, so we will see. But by the way, it's been a crazy window. One of the craziest windows I can ever remember.
I know. Mental.
Been
window.
brilliant. Been brilliant.
It's been brilliant. It has been brilliant. We will keep you up to date if any more sort of transfers do come through in the last. That haven't been. I think the Solomon Rondon's done, but maybe the Chelsea one with Sal is still kind of just waiting for that to be confirmed. It's probably going to get done. So if that does come through, we'll let you know and get your calls in 08717 223344. Let's talk a bit of Arsenal with Max. Max, good evening.
All right, Max.
Good evening, Jamie. You all right?
We're good, mate. We're good. Are you happy with what you've done?
No, definitely not.
You spent 150 million quid.
I think if you speak to any Arsenal fan out there, they'll all say the same thing. I mean, we bought in Odegaard when we was tracking Osur from Lyon all summer. Spurs were linked with him, which highly rated player, good attacking midfielder. We brought in Odegaard, who spent, as you know, last half of the season on loan. He doesn't strike me as someone that we really needed. We brought in Lokonga, looks pretty decent. Ben White for 50 million, I think he's overpriced. And Ramsdale. We got rid of Martinez last season, arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Yeah. And then we brought in Ramsdale. And
you've also brought in Tomiyasu, who's obviously a full-back for I think 20 million quid. So it takes you to 150 million pound. They're all under 23, so you'd say they've bought for the future. But is the future that you want or need right now? You need results.
Yeah, exactly. You look at Wenger, finished 5th, we got rid of him. Unai Emery, sorry for swearing. Unai Emery come in, he finished 6th. We lost to Chelsea in the final. Arguably, they're the better team. Do you know what I mean? And then they got rid of him. Arteta finished 8th. I can't even remember where he finished last season, 7th or 8th. No European football, and they're saying trust the project.
Yeah. Well, look, I think. Oh, we've lost him. Sorry, we lost Max.
Yeah, I mean, look. If you spend £150 million right now, how do you think Arteta is feeling about that? Okay, the future of Arsenal looks like they said, do you know what, we're going to sign players under the age of 23. These are players for the future. They have residual value. We can sell them on if and when. But right here, right now, does Arteta not want to say, give me that 150 million and make my first team stronger? Make my first 11 stronger. Because 150 million is a huge amount of money.
A huge amount of money. But then you say that, you look at the grand scheme of things, are they shopping in the same window as Chelsea and Man United?
No, they're not.
No, they can't attract them players.
No, they're not.
So they've had to go and sign, you'd say, lesser players.
Well, we will see.
And they spent 150 million quid. But
Right.
but Lukaku cost Chelsea 97 million.
We will see how many of
One
these
player.
players individually have an impact on their first team over the next 3-4 weeks, months. That's when you'll know whether this has been a good window for them. If you find out that half of these players are not going to get anywhere near the starting 11, not going to improve their starting 11, then you would have to say that's probably not been the greatest window.
Yeah, well, I just look at Spurs. I think maybe one of the best signings that Spurs have made is Nuno Espirito Santo.
Yep, he's it surprised me that they didn't go for him or weren't in for him earlier or stay with him. Because I know they went after Conte and not one or two other managers there that clearly things didn't work out. And the fact they've had to go back to him, perhaps with their tail between their legs, I thought when he signed, I think it was a really, really good signing.
Yeah.
And, so far so good.
What about Man City? Because they've signed Jack Grealish for 100 million quid. You could argue it's maybe a little bit too much, but they needed to with the release clause, Jace. But
yeah.
Is it a successful window? You'd have to say missing out on Harry Kane, not getting a striker in which they probably needed.
Yeah.
They'd be disappointed. But
I think Man City fans will be very disappointed that they've come out of this window clearly looking for a striker and haven't really filled that gap. I think most Man City fans will feel, look, they're champions. They're the team to be shot at. They're the team that everyone's got to finish in front of. And last year, you could argue they didn't really need a number 9. But I think there were moments as well where you saw they actually missed that focal point to their attack.
Well, definitely in the Champions League final.
And if you are going or linked with players such as Harry Kane and Ronaldo, and you don't end up getting anyone, it tells me there's a gap. That's what it tells me.